Timberwolves president of basketball operations, David Kahn. Who is he?
Tell us exactly about this European Blake Griffin.
I don't know. I think Blake Griffin and Summer Cont.
The Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant.
The Milwaukee Bucks select Dirk Nowitzki from Würzburg, Germany.
I'm Ricky Rubio. I'm not like anybody else, but
It ain't the end of the world. We're going to see each other again. I mean, I'll send her some flowers or some fruit.
All right, and this is Chris Habis once again with NBADraftInsider.com's draft forecast. Today we're lucky enough to be joined by one of the premier college players coming into the college season. I guess we can call him a star at Detroit Mercy now because he is the projected player of the year for the Horizon League. This is Ray McCallum. How are you doing today, Ray?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate the time you're giving me. I understand you guys are practicing, getting ready for the season, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, this season, hopefully a little bit, better results. You guys play in a very tough Horizon League where you weren't able to make the NCAA tournament. As a team, how is your guys' goals set? Do you feel that tournament is within reach this year?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Getting to the NCAA tournament is our main focus and our main goal this year. We got a whole team returning this year, and we got 3 new additions to the team that will definitely help. Got an experienced group this year. And first, we just want to try to win as many games as we can, do all the little things we can do to win Horizon League championship and try to make a run in the NCAA tournament this year.
Yeah, and with your team, I mean, you guys were, like I said, you guys were a really good team. It was just hard to get over the hump of the Butlers and the Cleveland States and those good teams you had out there. You lost in the quarterfinals to Valparaiso in the Horizon League tournament. What did you guys get to experience in that loss?
Last year, we had a lot of great experiences, and of course, playing in the Horizon League tournament, we won our first-round game, and then we lost in the second-round game. It just kind of showed us, it really hurt, and it just showed us that, we don't want to be in that position again the next year. And now the year is here, and we're just trying to do all the little things to pick up the slack from last year. Our team chemistry has gotten a lot better. Guys have gotten a lot closer, really sharing the ball, playing better as a team, and I mean, we're doing all the things we got to do to win, so just excited to really get out there and get the real games going to see where we're at.
And you guys begin the season, it's next Friday against Lake Erie College, correct?
Yes.
And you guys got an interesting schedule. Last year, you guys were just bombarded with top 25 teams in the first 5-6 games of the year. This year, it's a little bit more spread out. You don't face a nationally ranked team until mid-December. Do you think that that's going to be important for the growing process for a young and up-and-coming team like Detroit?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, last year, my dad, he kind of just threw us out there, and we opened up at New Mexico, then heading down to Syracuse. So there were 2 really tough teams that we faced. This year, we still have a tough schedule, but like you said, it's a little bit different. It kind of set up in a way to give guys some confidence in their game and help us playing together more and just kind of get us on that winning pace, and so we can get some more wins earlier in the season. And really, I think it's for confidence. And but I like the schedule we have. We've got some great teams. Our second game, we go to Notre Dame, and they're going to be a tough team to face. So, I mean, we're trying to play some of the best teams that we're allowed to play, and it should be a great year for us.
And looking at that schedule, a lot of good games, and like you said, starting off the season, not necessarily with, just wins. I'm not saying you guys are winning every single game that's on that schedule there, but building the confidence of the young guys as well as yourself. Now, this summer, you had a lot of unique experiences to get ready for the college basketball season. Talk a little bit about what you were able to do this summer with the World University Games.
Yeah, this summer it was a great summer for me. Actually, it started off in June. I got to go to the Darren Williams Skills Academy camp. It was like top 15 point guards, and then from there I got invited to LeBron James in Akron, Ohio. So those 2 camps right there really got me prepared for the season. And then, fortunately, I got a call about 2 weeks in advance before the tryout for the team, for the World University team, and went out to Colorado Springs. I was there for supposed to be 3 days trying out for a team. Ended up being like a 7-day tryout. Ended up making the team and going out to China. And I mean, it was the greatest experience I could possibly have had this summer. It really got me prepared for this upcoming season. The team is mainly seniors, so I learned a lot of great leadership skills from all the older guys on the team. Had great coaching, and it was like having a half a season in about a month period in the summertime. So, I mean, there was no better experience that I could have had this summer than getting the opportunity to represent my country.
Yeah, and then like I saw the video with you and Brad Stevens, it was like an Olympic feel. You guys were rushing through, staying in little dorm rooms and going game to game. And the only loss you guys had, unfortunately, was when it came to actually place. So you guys ended up with a tie for the best record in the tournament and ended up finishing fifth in there. Overall, what do you think you picked up from some of those guys you got to play with? I know one of the, not the biggest knocks on your game, but one of the things you can improve on is your consistency as a shooter. Did you get to learn anything from guys like Tim Abramitis and John Jenkins?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Being in practice with those guys every day and, feeding them the ball, just kind of watching their form and technique really helped me on my jump shot, actually. And I got to spend a lot of time working on my jump shot at a game speed and against game competition. It's one thing to just get shots up on the gun or have someone rebound for you instead of, going game-like. And that was one thing that I learned, and especially from those two guys. Those two great shooters, some of the best shooters in the country, so there's no better players to learn than them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great resources to learn how players are good and bad, and I don't know if these resources are better or worse for players, but like Synergy Sports, I looked on there and was checking you out, and it sat on there that about 40% of your points came in transition, and you only shot 83s on the season as a whole. Have you, over the summer, working with Brad Stevens and Team USA and getting yourself ready here with your team, are you changing your role? Are you going to be shooting a little more? Are you working on getting more of your points in different areas than just the transition game?
Yeah, this summer, I spent a lot of time working with my father and also Coach Stevens, like you said, and all the other coaches from the USA team, Matt Painter and Quanzo Martin, and from all the Skills Academy camps I was able to go to, and just being at home working on my own game, put a lot of time in my jump shot. And this year for my team, I need to just be still do all the little things I do, be a point guard, set guys up, but just be a little bit more aggressive. Look to score more. Just try to lead my team, make the right play, look for more pull-ups, shoot more threes, make all my free throws. Just more making shots this year. I'm going to be a sophomore this year. Last year as a freshman, people could have made excuses. There's no excuses this year. I just got to go out and get the job done and do all the things to do to help my team win.
Yeah, and you mentioned technique learning from those guys, and your catch and shoot looks good. I mean, watching you on film, you got good form and technique. It's about probably just more repetition and putting the ball in the air more and more. Like you said, still learning as being a point guard. Is there going to be opportunity for you to be able to play a little bit more off the ball, or are you still going to be needed to run the offense as much as you did last year?
Actually, we got a freshman point guard who just came in from Indianapolis, P.J. Butte, and we also have a senior point guard, Donovan Foster. Those two guys right there are really good ball handlers, and they will allow me to get off the point a little bit, kind of slide over to the two, maybe play a little more scoring role. And we got three, well, including myself, so that's three good point guards, and I mean we can all be on the court at the same time, and that will allow me to score a little bit more, and just hopefully, I know they can come in and just run the show and let me slide over to the two a little bit. So it should be interesting this year.
Now, one thing that I think is interesting to hear from a player's perspective is hearing what other people think about him. I'm just going to read you off a list real quick and I want you to tell me what you think about it. The common weaknesses you're going to find in Ray McCallum's game from most people's perspective is small school, so you don't get the exposure. Right. You're passive offensively, inconsistent right now as a shooter, but we talked about that improving. And just like I said, your overall aggressiveness with scoring the basketball, and then your size. Those things right there, are those fair judgments and assessments, or what do you think about those?
I mean, everyone's going to have their opinion on my game, and all those things that you just said were pretty much based on my game last year. And I put a lot of work in this summer to improve my game, to get better in all those areas. And I think after people see me play this year, they might have a different opinion on my game.
And the small school thing, I think, is an unfair knock, especially if you look at the past 5 years. I mean, you have Rodney Stuckey, Stephen Curry, even Eric Maynor, Shelvin Mack last year with Norris Cole and a few others. A lot of outstanding point guards coming from small schools. And if you think about it, you're not passing it to 5 All-Americans all game. You're collecting assists and collecting your statistics, playing with lesser valued talent. Do you think that that's helping you as a point guard?
Definitely. I mean, I feel that, it really doesn't matter where you go at the end of the day. I learned last year that we're all at the same level, Division I, high major, low major, regardless. Everyone I've played against and faced last year at the D1 level really can play. I mean, everyone's going to have scouting reports on you. Everyone's going to know what you do. It's just you might not be a 5-star recruit or anything, but at the end of the day, I think everyone can play, and even the small schools, all the small school talk. I mean, you look at the Final Four last year, you had Butler and you had VCU, and you had Butler competing for the national championship. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really what school you go to. It's just how much work you put in and how much work your team puts in.
Yeah, and the work is evident. With the Deron Williams camp, I think that's interesting because that's probably a really good area for you to learn is you come in with the knock of your size, and Deron Williams is looked at as a big bruising point guard that can take advantage of that. What all were you able to learn from him and learn from your peers about how to play the point guard position from different levels? You got Deron Williams as a big guy, and you got yourself as maybe one of the smaller kind of point guards. What little tidbits were you able to take away from that camp?
I learned a lot from this camp. D. Will, he really taught us how to, change the speed, use your body in different ways, attack your defender at different angles, ways to score, different ways to finish, different type of shots around the rim, little floaters, when and when not to shoot pull-ups, how to attack the pick and roll. So, I mean, it was a great camp, and I learned a lot from him. And there was also 15 other point guards there, so I was able to take some things from other people's games as well.
Who there were you most excited to meet and learn a little bit from as far as your peers?
I mean, pretty much everybody. All the guys there were pretty good players, and I learned a lot from Scoop Jardine, Ashton Gibbs, Jordan Taylor. Who else was there? Shabazz Napier was there. I mean, there was a lot of great players. Marcus Teague. So it was a great camp to get a chance to go against those guys and also learn from those guys.
And a good collection of talent there for you to learn from. Now, as people may not know this a ton about you, and I when I was doing my research, I found all the little fun videos that you like to do. You like to interview people yourself and have some fun, and you're pretty camera savvy and whatnot. Let's talk about a little bit of an interesting thing about you. Let's let people learn a little bit more about Ray McCallum.
Yeah, I like to get on camera a lot. I'm actually a communications major, so I'm trying to get all the practice I can now with all that. Hopefully one day when I'm done playing basketball, I can be a sports broadcaster. My dream is to play as long as I can and be a sports broadcaster on ESPN, be able to cover games, and that's just something I like to do, and just hopefully I'm fortunate enough to be able to get that opportunity someday.
I can't knock that major because that's what I got my degree in as well. So I definitely appreciate the time, Ray. We're wishing you nothing but the best here this season. Hopefully it ends in the NCAA tournament, and we look forward to maybe doing this again with you down the road.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time.
But I also felt very strongly that once the 14-year-old hit the dais with us, we were dead. We were just dead. There was no way. This league has a habit, I'm just going to say habit, of producing some pretty incredible storylines.